Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fisherman, Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning, good morning. It is the Fishing in Florida Show, and it is a crisp and cold morning. I was going to say cool, but no. For a Florida boy like me, 45 degrees is cold. So we've got a nice cold and crisp morning for you. Looks like it's going to be a really gorgeous day. And I want to take a minute to introduce to you my co-host. That is Carolyn. She is with Atlas Trax. And if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Good morning, Miss Carolyn.
Good morning, Riscala, and to all the listeners. It's a little brisk down here in South Florida, and enough to get the blankets out.
It was enough to put the jacket on this morning. When I took the dog out, we have an equestrian area right around the corner from me, and it was so cold that you could see the fog lifting off of the water. As the water was warmer and the air was colder, it was creating a fog. It was the most eerie-looking thing. I felt like I was in a science fiction movie. I was waiting for the werewolf to come to come out.
I was going to say, what's really cool about that is when a horse comes through that, but you got to the werewolf instead. But that's a real beautiful sight.
It was really, really crisp this morning, and I was dressed appropriately, layered up and ready to go out. I was ready for snow.
Oh, yeah. And you mentioned the equestrian. I used to live in Connecticut, and I'd had horses, and we'd have to go out to the barn with a hammer and break the ice on top of the bucket.
Oh, my gosh.
So you can imagine what a project that was. And then, of course, pull the ice out of the bucket, and your hands were freezing. Everything was freezing.
Yeah, I don't like being cold. That's why I'm down here. I love looking at it through my monitor and watching all the snow come. That's beautiful. But as long as I'm not there suffering through it, I will say that I haven't had a couple of experiences in snow. I was in Colorado for a while when I was in the Air Force. They sent me there and had a couple of experiences. It's okay for me if it's temporary. If I know it's temporary and I'm not going to be there permanently, then I can deal with it. But to live in it, I just I just couldn't do very good. Wouldn't do very well there. And it snowed when I was at my last duty station, was actually Panama City, Florida. And it had snowed a couple of times there as well. Just don't do well in snow. Have you ever driven in snow?
As a matter of fact, I was in a very bad accident in snow. I ended up on snow and black ice up there in Connecticut, and ended up hitting a telephone pole and put me in the hospital for a couple of days. So yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, well, I had very little experience in driving in snow, and I was in Panama City at the time. There was a very large bridge that separates the city from the base. A pretty big bridge. Anyway, we were told that it was going to snow the next day, so be careful. Be particularly careful on the bridges because they typically freeze over faster than the road will. And so I'm on my way to report for duty. I lived off base. I'm on my way to report for duty. I'm going up the bridge, and as I'm going up the bridge, I think to myself, well, I don't want to be going too fast up this bridge, The speed limit was like 45. So I'm doing like 40 up the bridge, and all of a sudden I notice my car's not doing 40 anymore. The speedometer says 45, but the car's not doing 40 anymore. The wheels are starting to spin. And, of course, the first reaction is you slam the brakes on. Well, I've slammed the brakes on. What a joke that was. I continued to slide backwards. Now I'm sliding backwards down this bridge. Thank God it was a Sunday morning. It was like 7 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning because I was due in at 7. And so there wasn't very much traffic. I look in the rearview mirror, and there's a cop behind me. And he's waiting. He sees what's going on. He's waiting for me at the bottom of the bridge to come sliding back down. It was the most embarrassing, and I was so scared. I thought I was going to slide into this guy, and of all places, of all people, to slide into a police officer. So that was my experience driving in snow on a bridge. He told me to go back down there about a quarter of a mile and get yourself a run and start. Don't do that again. He watched me go. He said, I saw you go up the bridge. As soon as I saw what you're doing, I knew you were going to have problems. So,
it's dangerous stuff if you're not familiar with it, and they always say the bridges freeze first, so you got to be careful of that that so-called black ice.
God.
And I live on the Weather Channel too, between fishing shows and the Weather Channel, and it's amazing when you see some of the footage they show of cars just one after another on the highway hitting each other, and it's dangerous stuff. So thank God we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, just a little cool weather, and our roads will not be frozen. You won't have to worry about that. It is going to be a nice day today. I missed the weather report here. Let's go back and look at the map. The map says absolutely no cloud cover over. No major cloud cover over the state anywhere, not showing anywhere. The the air temperature at the parks is, that can't be right, 59 degrees. Well, maybe because they're out there off the water. Showing at 59 degrees. The tides, let's see, we're going to have, we had a low tide at 4:56 this morning. We're going to have a high tide right after the show, 11:15. So you guys that are listening to the show, get your stuff ready right after the show. Going to have a high tide. There you go. Low tide, the next low tide will be 5:30 this evening, and the final high tide will be 11:38 tonight. Take your pick. Get out there and get some lines wet and keep them tight. Did you get to do any fishing?
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, we did. We went out on Wednesday. We did a little trolling. Unique thing happened. I told you and our listeners last week that we had a neighbor that had his boat stolen out of a U-Haul facility.
Oh, yeah.
And he is actually very interested in our boat. So we went out and did a sea trial and did a little running around for him and his wife. And if that happens, that means we get another one a little bit newer. So we went out and did a little fishing, just some bottom dropping, had some fun. It was beautiful out during the week.
It was relatively calm, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at the seas now. It's going to be 2 feet through the whole week, which is unusual. Winds are only going to be 5 to 10 all week here.
Wow. It is really awesome for me it is anyway, when we would go out on days similar to today where the seas are very, very low, very little action going on, and you'll be out there 10, 15 miles offshore. You can't see the shore any longer. You can't see the buildings or anything. All you see is water all around, and it's just like glass. It's just amazing. It's amazing. The only thing that I could think of when it's like that is it seems to be much hotter because the reflection off of the water, when you get out there and you get into what I call the deep blue, when it's really, really deep blue water, the reflection off of that water can barbecue you. So that's the only thing about having it like a day. But it is so nice to be out there on a day like today. Not particularly with the weather, the temperature, but the way the water is. I love that kind of stuff. There were a couple of times when we went out and couldn't find weed lines, couldn't get anything conducive out there in the blue, so we decided we'd just drift with the water for a little while and see what's going on. And we drifted and we dropped some chum over every once in a while. And we picked up a couple of fish here and there. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it was amazing that, if you just kind of go with the water sometimes, if you can't find anything, you just kind of drift along with the water, drop some chum off over the side every once in a while. We caught a couple of dolphin that way a couple of times. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's almost like they use the boat as shade.
Yeah.
So even if you drift a little bit, they things start coming to you, and worst case, you jump overboard and you put a mask on. You've got your own little aquarium.
We haven't had her on in a while. That's Stephanie Lynn. It's a young lady we've had on a couple of times. This is an amazing individual. She dives. She free dives. She what do you call that? It's not
spearfish.
Yeah, spearfishing. I was trying to think of how to put it. And not only does she do that, but she swims with sharks. Sharks that are a lot bigger than her. Sharks that would have me walking on water, pal. I see that guy coming at me. I'm gone. She does some amazing things. We'll have to have her back on. Some of the amazing pictures that she has. There's one picture that sticks out in my mind where she's petting, I think it's a tiger shark, and she's petting it like a dog. The shark is looking at her. She's looking at the shark. And the shark seems to be, at least in the picture, seems to be just sitting still, waiting for her to pet her. It was amazing. Have you seen that picture?
And she travels with a full photographer, so he gets some amazing underwater footage that you would swear. You see her standing on sunken boats. You would swear she's out in the air, and the way that he does it underwater is amazing.
Some of the pictures look like they've been photoshopped. They don't even look real. She's down with an alligator. There's one time this alligator had to be about 12 feet. 12 feet long, she's down in the water with this alligator. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's so cool about her and her group is that they catch most of the fish. They travel throughout the Bahamas on a sailboat. They catch most of their fish. They're only catching what they need, and the rest of the time they're diving and meeting the locals. So she's got
and sharing.
a great,
sharing the food.
She's got
with
a great
locals.
presence about her.
Yeah. And I see Robert is on. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. How is everybody? Frozen?
Nice and cozy.
It is 46 degrees on my back porch.
Uh-huh. And have you got the heater going?
No wind.
No. Oh, yeah. It's flat, boy. Carolyn's looking at the one that's looking out over the ocean, and it is just, what you say, Carolyn, 2 feet all week long? It's going to be 2 feet?
Not even. Oh, just ripples right now. I see a cruise
Looks
ship
like
off
a lake
the shore.
out
Yeah.
there.
I love going to sunny.org, and they have all the webcams all up the coast of Florida, and usually pick, just right around me, but it's beautiful right off of the ocean right now, and the sun's coming up. It's a gorgeous morning. It's going to be 1 to 2 feet. Hey, Robert, you're up by the Stewart Boat Show. Are you going to go to the boat show?
No, I'm not. I went last year. It was fairly uneventful, so I'm not going. So. But we don't have a boat show like most people have boat shows. Ours is like they close a bridge. Have you ever been to it?
Yeah, I was an exhibitor a few years ago for Atlas Trax, and it was a lot of work for me to get that far up and work at such a small traveling show. But it was it was nice to see people. It's always nice to pop in and see people. But didn't know if you were going to head down today.
No, probably not. It's too damn cold for one thing.
And now there's a Florida man
ours
right there.
Ours is all outdoors, so.
Oh my goodness! I'm laughing only because I take the dog out every morning, and of course today with the show I have to take him out extra early. And it was super cold out there for me anyway, and I layered up. I had a long sleeve T-shirt on, a regular T-shirt underneath that, a hoodie on, had a hat on to protect my head. I had two, not one but two. What do you call these? Gym pants, the stretchy things, and two layers.
Yep.
But I was warm. My neighbors laugh at me. They see me coming. I got the hoodie on. I got it tied around my face. I can't deal with the cold.
I've got two pit bulls that like to go out at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh.
They have very little hair.
Oh.
So I let them out. They were back at the door in like a minute. Like, okay, that was it. We just needed to go. You can let us back in now.
Yeah, nothing like cold grass on some little paws.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So we were talking about how our experiencing snow driving. Have you ever driven in snow?
I have. I lived in Colorado for 3 years.
Oh, well, I was in Colorado.
I became proficient at it.
Yeah.
I became good enough to know that the people in Atlanta cannot drive in snow. So.
It is a hair-raising
I know why they shut
experience.
down the city when they get an inch of snow there, because nobody can drive. So.
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah, I shared a little bit of what I had as well. So did you get to do any fishing this last weekend, or this last week?
I did not. We've been starting to work on the next issue. So just trying to get some stuff going.
Also, the fish
and we had some stuff I had to do at the insurance office, too, so I didn't get to doing any fishing this week. But
the fish were
hopefully
safe.
Next week.
Fish were safe last week.
I was actually supposed to go to the range yesterday and can't find any ammunition anywhere.
Oh my gosh, it's so
subject also. So.
And if you find it, the price has been jacked up like twice.
Well, I know somebody wanted to sell me a box of 9mm shells for $35. I was like, no, I don't want them that bad.
No,
so
that's all right. This is sad that we go through things like this. There was a report. I think in January of last year. Yeah, I think January of 20. There were the most weapons were sold in history of our country as of January 20 last year. So of course, with the guns, the ammo, and I think they have purposely kept the supply low just to keep the price up. It's too bad. One of the things that I used to enjoy a lot was going out to one of the ranges and shooting. It's kind of stress relief, But just can't do that like I used to. Not.
Now I have a question: has Angelina caught a mahi yet?
No.
Oh.
Don't bring that
Everybody
up.
else has. Everybody else has.
They still, you're still getting reports of that?
Oh, yeah. Daymaker Charters here in Stewart is still getting them every day. So.
Wow. That is really unusual, or am I mistaken? Isn't that really?
It's most unusual this time of year. So.
Wow.
I imagine this cold front will probably take care of that, but.
And I saw some big ones getting posted on social media, some 40-pounders.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
Yeah, Patrick caught a couple of nice 30-pounders. So.
Wow. I don't ever remember them being around this time of the year. It was always, to me,
I don't either.
They were
not in this abundance, at least. You know, you normally see one or two here and there, but Patrick's been getting 6 or 7 a day.
My gosh! Wow, got to get out there. Where's he headed out of?
Yep.
Out of Stewart?
He's in Stewart.
Yeah.
Yep. Daymaker Charters.
We have to get a hold of him. Daymaker Charters. There's a place that you can go and go get. If you're, I'll have to tell Angelia. There's a place up here called.
Oh,
yeah,
that would
she'll
be.
appreciate that. So.
If you don't want her to door knock you because she's got one of those air pellet guns, and you don't want her to door knock you because I'm sure she will.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Well, we won't do that then, for the sake of safety. Then my safety, we won't mention that to her.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I think, like I was mentioning, Robert, to Rascala, I think the girls are out wader fishing somewhere in northwest Florida, and I'm glad I didn't go because it's cold in that water.
No. That's not a chance of that one.
I don't like cold, and I just can't stand being wet and cold. Oh, the two of those, that combination just drives me up the wall. I can't stand it. So,
it's funny. Like I said, I lived in Colorado for 3 years. The coldest I've ever been in my life was duck hunting with my dad in Florida, in the Everglades. It was like 30 degrees, sitting in an aluminum John boat in the water.
That's like sitting in a
the coldest
refrigerator.
I ever remember feeling in my life. You couldn't. It went straight to the bone. It was just.
You know, the John boat acted like a refrigerator. I guess you know that, right?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh gosh! And you were colder there than in Colorado?
Oh yeah, you're sitting on cold water in a cold aluminum boat.
Oh, that's true.
And it's 30 degrees. Yeah, that's not much fun. So.
Yeah. The thing that really surprised me about Colorado is how quick it could snow. Like we here, we're having a nice sunny day and everything's beautiful, and 10 minutes later, it looks like the end of the world. It's just coming down with the rain. That's what freaked me out about Colorado. There, I experienced that several times. Where it's nice. It's not snow weather, but it's nice. Like one particular day, it was like 40. It was high 40s, so it wasn't anywhere near snowing time. I walked to the post office on base to pick up my mail. I went in there, picked up my mail, read one of the letters. So I was in there maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and it was like a 10-minute walk. There we go. 10-minute walk back to the barracks. I went in there, read the mail. On the way back to the barracks, it started snow flurrying.
Where were you stationed?
Denver. It was
Denver?
It was Lowry Air Base at the time.
Yeah.
It was right inside of Denver. And that happened a couple of times. That really flipped me out. But it's like here. It's like here with the rain. It's like you have a nice sunny day, and within 10 or 15 minutes, all of a sudden, we got clouds everywhere, and and then it goes right away. And that was what I experienced there. It snow flurried for maybe a half an hour, and then went away. And temperatures started to pick back up again. They tell me it's because there's mountains all the way around Denver, and so what happens is the cold air will kind of crawl its way up one side of the mountain and down the other. And as it does that, it comes into the city. And what am I trying to say? I can't think of the word. At the speed that it does that, it causes, like we have here, we have hot and cold mixing, and then we have thunderstorms. At the speed that it does it mixes with warmer air, and it causes the snow flurries. You didn't experience anything like that?
Oh, I experienced lots of snow flurries when I was out there, and I also experienced having to thaw out the locks on my car to open them.
Oh my gosh!
So,
yeah.
And I have to tell you guys, I had a pretty cool job in Denver. When I went to the University of Massachusetts, I was in the food class scope, They put me out there at Stapleton Airport, and I was a dispatch manager for Sky Chefs, which is all the catering for food.
Oh.
So I'd get to run out on the runway, meet up with the planes, run up the back of the planes, making sure the scissor lifts were delivering the right kind of meals, and all of that huge food that's made in off-site at warehouses. That was a pretty cool 3-month summer.
Wow. Thing I liked the most about Colorado was the Coors factory.
Yeah, I was going to say, we used to go to the Coors Brewery because it was cheap, number one.
Yeah.
And
you get it fresh.
But, that was the first time my mustache actually froze. Was walking back up the hill from the Coors Brewery in Golden to my friend's house. My mustache froze into a piece of ice. I thought that was ridiculous.
I would not
long
be
after
outside.
that, I moved back to Florida.
No, not for me. Oh my goodness. So I don't have a mustache, so I guess my whole lip would be frozen at that point, right?
Oh yeah, and I used to swim on a swim team up in Connecticut, and we would get out of the pool and just wait for our parents to pick us up and stand outside, and our hair would freeze solid and break off. So
wow.
Yeah, I remember what that was like.
Wow.
But
yeah,
but you know what? At least we get to fish down here. At least if it's cold. I got to go out last week and the week before just for boat ride, and boy, I mean, you had to snuggle up with almost ski gear.
Well, it's going to be...
I might actually get to try ice fishing next winter. Some friends that I met through the magazine that do the ice fishing stuff for us, Dave and Val Tesh, invited me to Minnesota next year to go ice fishing, which I have never done, so I might do that.
I've seen some videos of when they go ice fishing. I mean, the really serious people. They take a special chainsaw with them. They take a tent.
Oh yeah.
They do the hole in the ice, and then they put the tent over the hole, and they have a little heater.
Oh yeah,
they've
got a heater in there and everything.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what happens if you catch a fish that's bigger than? I guess you make sure the hole's big enough. Get your right, and make sure that if your hole is too small and you're not going to be able to get that. What do you do then? Then you're really in a world of poop, huh?
I have no idea. Never done it.
I was going to say that's a good question. So I've seen pictures where that's where people are losing the fish trying to just pull them through that hole, like I forget, like sturgeon-looking things.
So I guess you just got to make sure you start off with a big hole, right? And just make sure you start off with a big hole. That way you whatever you catch. I've seen some pretty big fish come up from the ice. It was really surprising. The sturgeon, is that what they call it? I can't think of what they're called. That may be the wrong name. They look kind of like a bass mixed with a barracuda. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that a pike?
Yeah, those are
pike.
That's a muskie.
Or maybe it's a muskie.
Pike or a muskie.
Yeah. I've seen some big fish come up out of not a very big hole in the ice either. It was really amazing.
And you know what? I have to
that
tell
holiday issue, you will see Dave and Val Tesh in their tent.
Oh.
And some of the fish they dragged through that hole. So.
Wow, cool. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, we were talking about people driving onto the ice and, setting up these base camps. I saw a picture last night on the internet where a truck went right through. And the only thing that was keeping it from going all the way through was the size of the bed and the back wheels. And it broke right through the ice.
Wow.
That would not be a fun thing.
No, I don't think so. Lord have mercy.
Explain that one to your insurance agent. So.
Yeah. Wow. Any tournaments happen? I know there's tournaments all bound to be happening. Any tournaments happening here in the local area?
The Stewart Sailfish Tournament should be. Well, no, they already did one of those. I don't know if there's any more coming. So they already did one. They may have another one coming. I don't know. I haven't checked the schedule. So.
Yeah, I think there's one down here in Pompano about the 30th. I know there was the Silver Slam last week, which Mike Simcoe from Kite.com, he did really well. He was on first place in small boat category, maybe.
Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, we'll have to get him back on.
Yeah.
So Mike did real well. And I'm trying to think. I know February is a lot of sailfish tournaments. And then, of course, we've got that big Jimmy Johnson one that Trey from Big Dog Tackle will be fishing in. And I think is a part sponsor now.
Oh, wow.
Well, I know there's a lot of sailfish being caught. I can tell you that. There are pictures coming every day. So.
Yeah, sailfish seem to be
a lot of them being caught. So.
All right, my friend, we're at that moment in time. We're going to take a break. I want to thank you so much for taking time to share with us this morning. I greatly appreciate it. And I want to give Carolyn an opportunity to say so long to you, and we'll go to a break.
Yeah, Robert, button up on that bike today if you go out to the park.
Oh, no, it's too cold for that. I'm not going. If I do, it'll be at noon, so it won't be now. So.
Yeah, the high today is
you have a great day.
High today is going to be around 70, so
You
it's
too.
going to be a gorgeous day. All right, appreciate it,
high
Robert.
up here today is 62, so y'all have a good time.
Oh, gee.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Riscala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Do you enjoy WCET radio? Are you addicted to the wide variety of topics and personalities? Do you know we depend on you to survive? Well, we do, and that's why I'm asking you all to dig deep into your pockets and spare a little change, so we can bring you change, whether it's natural cures or news blurbs, archaeologists or psychologists, scientists or evangelists, even UFOs and the flipping of our poles. We have it all right here on WCET Radio. So come on over to our website and contribute today, because without you, there is no us. WCET Radio. We cover everything.
Late nighters.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun. I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning. We are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. It is an awesome morning here in South Florida. A little bit on the chilly side, but a very gorgeous day nonetheless. And there are many different ways that you can listen to our show. We hope that you enjoy it and you share that with other people. One of the easiest ways to listen to our show is download our app. We have an absolutely free app that you can download. It has no adware, no spyware, and no push notifications. Just a simple way to listen to our network. Another way you can find us is if you have the TuneIn app, you can go to Marina Rock. A big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. They're one of our affiliates. You can go to Marina Rock and you can find us there. Marina Rock is located out of Miami. I'm trying to read and talk. It's not working. And another way you can find us is on our home station, which is www.wcetfm.com. You can go there and find a player. If you're on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook, The Fishing in Florida Show. Click on Contact Us, and you can listen to us that way as well. So numerous different ways that you can listen to us, and we are ever so grateful that you do, and that we get to share some time with you in the morning every Sunday, 8 to 10 a.m., here on WCET-FM and Marina Rock Radio, and one of our other affiliates, which we're looking forward to bringing forward as soon as they sign the agreement. So we'll have another affiliate joining us here very shortly. All right, let me welcome back my co-host. That is Carolyn Stash. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you very much, Riscala. And I'll tell you, I got up real quick to get some coffee, and I've got tile floor and bare feet, and you can only imagine how cold that floor is.
Oh, getting shivers from that one. And let's see. Our next guest is Deb Deyo. She's going to give us a West Coast report. Good morning, Miss Captain. Are you there, Deb? I see her. She's on. Maybe she's on mute. You have to unmute yourself, girl.
Is that Deb or is it Toby?
Let's see. No, could be. I got my numbers crossed. I apologize. It's Toby. Toby, good morning.
Good morning, Riscella. How are you?
I apologize. That's
Good morning,
my fault.
Toby.
Good morning, Carolyn.
So
no need to apologize. I know how things get a little frustrated this early in the morning when you ain't out on the water anyway.
I bet it's pretty cool where you're at.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm sitting out in the Citrus Wildlife Management area right now. It's quite chilly.
So you're out in the water. You're out in the water. Are you doing some trapping today, or?
I'm out. I'm actually out doing a little squirrel hunting today.
Oh, he's relaxing today.
That's right, taking some time off to myself.
Either that or he's.
Wow.
You know how the fishermen go and go catch bait before they go fishing, right? Maybe he's looking for bait for the snakes or something like that.
No, just had a craving for a Mr. Squirrel and dumplings. So I needed to find me an entree.
So how many squirrels you need to make your dumplings?
Just 3.
Wow. So how many you got so far?
3.
Oh, you're done then.
Well, yeah, it's just a doggone pretty. Ain't ready to go home yet.
So I wanted to have you come back on and share with us some of the hair-raising experiences, to say the least, hair-raising experiences that you've had. For those of you who don't know, this gentleman, he has got some serious courage going on. He catches snakes. He catches, I can't think of the other one, the thing that looks like a lizard. I can't think of the name of it.
A caiman?
Not the iguanas. Yeah. The thing that looks like an alligator, but it's not. It's about as big as an alligator.
Yeah, Carolyn got it. The caiman.
Caimans, yeah. All by hand. This freaks me out. So what's your latest story that you're going to share with us?
Well, the cold weather's been keeping everything pretty docile here lately. And we've given up night hunting in favor of daytime hunting. We catch them out sunning up on the levees all around the glades. And, we get a lot of 2 and 3 year old snakes right now for some reason. Get a lot of 8 to 10 footers, both male and female. We've been having a lot of luck, and doing everything we can to rid the glades of the invasives.
And for our listeners that don't know, what Toby does is he goes out and he catches pythons and caimans and all kinds of invasive species in Florida to help bring those numbers down, because those are damaging other parts of the life cycle of animals out there too. So talk about a fun wrestling kind of job.
By hand.
They're really taking quite a toll on the wildlife. There's parts right now of the Everglades that the mammal populations, your deer, otters, bobcats, rabbits, they've been depleted by as much as 90% because of the pythons alone.
Wow.
And to me, that's, when I started looking into that kind of stuff, that got pretty alarming.
I had no idea.
Our native species under that kind of threat. The overall population has been estimated. U.S. Geological Services did a population estimate at 330,000 wild Burmese pythons now.
Just down here in South Florida?
Well, throughout the peninsula, from the Swanee River south, they're pretty rare still up in the mid to northern parts of the state. They're more predominantly South Florida problems, but they're spreading, and that's the big cause for alarm.
They don't have a natural predator here?
Not really. I mean, when they're hatchlings, when they come out of the egg, they're already 22 inches long. So even gosh. It takes a pretty good sized bass to even take one on. During the first few months of their life, probably birds of prey. Mm-hmm. It would be the biggest threat to them. other than that, they really don't have any natural predators. And once they hit about 3 to 4 foot long, nothing's going to mess with them. Nothing feeds on them.
Really?
And
alligators?
they got free reign from that point on.
Alligators don't like them?
No, oddly enough, they don't.
Huh.
They and alligators are actually prey to the larger pythons.
Wow.
Many of the time, some of the contractors with the Florida Wildlife Commission have come across wrapped up gators and actually had to take the snakes off of the alligator and set them free again. And we've had a few larger 11, 12-foot snakes that have had 4 and 5 foot alligators in their bellies digesting them. So,
good gravy. Wow.
Yes,
right.
It's quite the opposite. Now that they've eaten all the mammals, now they're turning on the reptiles.
Good gravy.
So have you seen any of them fighting against each other when you're out there in the Everglades?
I personally haven't witnessed any fights, but generally when I find a high concentration of alligators, it hasn't been too far before we'll find another python. It's like, I don't know if they're trailing them, but they're kind of staying on the food source.
Wow.
Now, what about wild boars and stuff? You see that out there, or is it too mushy out there?
No, the snakes pretty much wiped them out.
No kidding.
Back in the early 90s, I used to spend quite a bit of time around the Big Cypress Indian Reservation and down around the L-28 levees and such out of Ochapi. And, you go out there and see just tons of wildlife. It was amazing. Like you see on the old National Geographic specials, just wildlife and birds everywhere. And my first snake hunt a few years ago, I was down with a gentleman named Dusty Crum, and I was just blown away because it was a ghost town. Nothing. Didn't see any wildlife other than snakes while we were down there that trip. And I personally was just devastated by it because I couldn't fathom that level of destruction, and nobody really doing anything about it. It wasn't on anybody's radar. The politicians and so forth, just wasn't that big a deal for them.
Wow.
But here recently, Governor DeSantis particularly has really stepped up to the plate and threw quite a bit of money toward the Florida Wildlife Commission. Mike Kirkland with the South Florida Water Management District has been doing fantastic work in organizing the teams of snake hunters to get everybody out and start making an actual difference.
I'm shocked at well, you're saying 90%. That's, my gosh, I just can't imagine. Just from snakes, just from one species.
It's wholly attributed specifically to the invasive Burmese pythons.
Wow. And I think the majority of that problem started back when Hurricane Andrew blew through the area, right?
Yeah, they had found a few here and there, just the pet trade. You'd find a couple of boas, a couple of berms. There'd be some like African rock pythons that would pop up, just pet trade stuff. People get bored with them, so they turn them loose. But then when Andrew toppled the reptile sanctuary, a little over 400 of the snakes got away, and it was actually a breeding facility to process the leather from the snakes.
Yeah.
And that really turned the tables, and it blew into, you got 400 snakes. Now it's become 330,000 estimated. Could be more, could be a few less, but that was U.S. Geological Survey biologists that came up with that number. And those boys, they pretty sharp.
That's amazing. Wow. It's sad that it's just one species that can do that kind of damage, too. That's kind of spooky. But there's other species out there as well that you've met up with. We talked about a couple of them. What is some of the other stuff that you see out there?
As far as invasives go?
Or just species in general. What have you run into that you've had to take a hold of and remove from the area?
Well, we're not allowed to bother any of the native wildlife. It's not sport hunting expeditions or anything like that. So any native wildlife that we encounter, we just pass it by or allow it to pass us by unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
We're only out for the invasive species. Probably the most fun of all the invasives are the Asian swamp eels.
Swamp eels?
Now, they don't.
I didn't even know such a thing existed.
They're kind of a golden colored little eel. They get about 36 inches long, and they're just the native fish, and the fish eggs, particularly the eels, are really filling their bellies with, and they're all over South Florida now. I haven't come across a body of water down there that hasn't had at least some in it. But down in the area of the Everglades called the Rocky Glades is just particularly infested, and they're fun. It's the old term slippery as deal. Once you get your hands on them, it's almost impossible to keep the hold on them. So you wait out there about knee deep, and until you get close to them, you just got to kind of approach them really, really carefully, and then just throw them up on top of the levee, get them up onto the grass, up onto the bank.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they just wiggle and squirm all over the place, and you get covered in eel slime. But yeah, it's
eel
fun.
Slime. Oh my gosh! And where do you think they came? Again, this is something from the pet trade that all this started.
Those definitely arrived during the 50s in the pet trade. And they came here from all over Eastern Asia. It's just one of those things. People didn't want to flush them down the toilet or kill them or whatever. So when they get bored with them, they just go dump them out in the canals or down around the lakes, and they spread all over.
Is it an attractive looking thing? I mean, that's why people want them, or are they cool looking, or why would somebody
want
an
cool.
eel?
Well, if an eel can be cool looking, they're pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I don't find a whole lot attractive about an eel.
And what do you do?
So Toby, when you
ma'am.
catch all these, you have to keep them all alive, right? If you catch an alligator, or the eels, or the caimans, you have to keep everything alive on your boat.
Well, you don't have to. Like, for instance, they only within the last couple of years they've allowed the hunters to start carrying shotguns for the snakes. You're allowed to dispatch them in the field. But it's really not practical when you're 70 miles from the nearest gas station to buy ice. You got to carry, tons of ice in multiple coolers, filling up the truck, taking up all your space. On the off chance that you actually catch something, because in our heat, you don't want the scales to start slipping. You don't want the meat to spoil. So it's so much more in our advantage to just bring the snake bags, catch them live, and then dispatch them at a more opportune time.
Now, you mentioned meat. Is somebody doing something with the meat? Like if you bring the pythons back, are people making python nuggets somewhere? Do you sell the snake, or how does that work?
Well, they're not really something. They're not FDA approved yet. The Florida Wildlife Commission recently started doing some studies on the snake meat. They're mostly concerned with mercury. So once they determine that the wild snakes are actually healthy, then they're going to try to establish a market throughout South Florida, to help people, take an interest in actually harvesting these things. But I can tell you firsthand, they're delicious. Their constrictors are all muscle, so you get a 100-pound snake, probably 90 pounds of that is pure meat.
Wow.
And it's a great food source.
It tastes like chicken.
I had rattlesnake once. Does it taste like rattlesnake?
Similar, very similar. The texture is, they're, as being constrictors, there's a lot more collagen in the meat, so they can be a little bit more chewy.
Mm-hmm.
So you take a few extra steps during the food preparation process
and break it down
to counter that, and it's one of those things that time will tell if it actually gets a following, if people really take to it. But I'm eager to find out about the mercury levels. If the mercury levels are low, they've taken, hundreds of samples, and then they okay it for human consumption. Now actually allows to sell the meat, and that'd be fantastic. Right now, I think crabbers are the biggest beneficiary, because the contractors and hunters with the state, you can only eat so much python. And since we can't really sell it, we we cut it up in lengths and sell it to the crabbers, and they're just having a great time with it. Alligators won't eat it, but apparently the crabs love it.
I think crabs will eat just about anything. That's amazing.
Yeah, and, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And they're, I think it's stone crab season because some of our customers are out doing some stone crab stuff. So yeah, feed them up and catch them.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you for taking time to share this hair-raising stories. My gosh, all of this is by hand, you guys. He doesn't take any weapons with him that I'm aware of anyway, or he doesn't use weapons. He does it all. I'm curious, what do you do with the eel meat? Do you just bury them or what?
No, throughout the Orient, it's a really popular dish, and I've tried it in stir fry.
Wow.
And it's pretty tasty. Got to tell you, it's sort of a neutral meat, which really takes on the flavors of whatever you're cooking it with and whatever seasons and spices that you put with it. And it's stir fry is the big thing with the eels. Delicious.
So, I guess as long as you don't tell somebody what it is, they wouldn't know, right?
You're right.
So Toby, let me ask you a question. You go out on your own. You've got a permit, but if somebody has a problem with snakes or things that they have, can they also hire you to go catch it and get it out of their way?
No, but there are quite a few private trappers, state licensed trappers that do deal with the general public. Off the top of my head, Mike Kimmel with Martin County Trapping is probably the most prolific. He does a ton.
And what about if our listeners want to go to see some of the stuff that you do you take photos of any of these things you catch as pythons and put them on a Facebook page or anywhere that people can go look at your adventures?
Yeah, there's quite a few different things on Facebook. They can go on a Facebook group page for Guardians of the Glades and see quite a bit of photos, or they can go to the South Florida Water Management District website. I believe it's sfwmd.gov, and they have a whole section on their website dedicated to the snakes and the work that they're doing. And they break down the successes so far of the hunters. For instance, I thought it was really interesting to find out that to date, all the snakes that have been captured in the program, if you were to lie them, from tip to tail to tip to nose, in a long straight line, we've captured over 40 miles of snakes.
Good gosh. Holy smokes,
Wow.
man. Wow. Golly. That's a lot of snakes.
That's a lot of snakes. And we're barely putting a dent in it. And that's the sad part. There's only 100 licensed contractors plus their citizens. And we're getting more and more private citizens that are out there on private lands, not in the glades or the national park area, that are out snaking on their own, just selling the leather, which is becoming quite a market, is the python skins. But see, a large female, she'll lay up to 100 eggs at a time.
Wow.
I think the largest clutch had 121 eggs that I'm aware of.
Good.
And
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
They've got about like a 90% survivability. So, yeah, that's a lot of snakes. They reproduce just remarkably well, and they're very adaptable to the climate. So it's we're putting a dent. But thusly it's a small one. But we're figuring things out. They have some really unique scientific approaches that are coming up as far as like the electromagnetic fields. Every living animal has an electromagnetic field.
Right.
There's a silly show on History Channel about the serpent invasion, and I'll probably get in trouble for criticizing them. But they're out there with heat-seeking devices, finding them at night with thermal imaging and stuff. And I'm like, guys, that's all Hollywood.
Yeah.
Weirdo stuff.
Yeah.
They're a cold-blooded creature.
Mm-hmm.
They are the exact same temperature of the ground that they're crawling on. You're not going to find it with heat seeking. However, this technology that they're working on to produce, it'll pick up the magnetic field around the snake and actually illuminate the area. And they're trying to outfit it onto drones and things of that nature to fly over to help pinpoint them a little bit faster.
Toby, if somebody wants to be what you do they have to They have to be licensed, right? They're licensed from the state, I take it.
You have to be licensed, or you get licensed as an official assistant for the licensed carrier. Each of the 100 licensed agents is allowed to carry up to 2 people with them at a time, because nobody wants you out there hunting by yourself. It's just too dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been way too many close calls. My friend Mike Kimmel just, this past spring, he was out alone, out on an island, and he caught up with a 15-footer. Well, the snake, it was pretty aggressive, and Mike just couldn't get out of the way in time.
Hmm.
And it opened up the artery in his left arm, his left forearm. And, he was in pretty dire straits, wrestling with the snake, bleeding out at the same time. And he gained control of the snake, but by the time he got back to his boat with the snake, he was just about ready to pass out, and some passers-by flagged him down in another boat, and they got him back to shore and got the EMS out there. And he was just minutes away.
Wow.
And there's been a few hunters that have been wrapped up. My friend Dusty, he's been wrapped up a couple of times. 15.5-footer got him pinned, and had he been alone and not able to call out to his assistant, that would have just been the end of him.
That's scary stuff there now. Wow.
Yeah. So nobody wants to hunt alone. They really don't want any of us hunting alone. So each licensed hunter can carry up to 2 certified assistants. Now, if anybody is interested in joining, for instance, the Florida Wildlife Commission on their website, myfwc.com, there is a section in there to apply to become a licensed snake hunter.
Huh.
And they're opening up the field a little bit more. 2 years ago, there were only 50. Now there's 100. Who knows? Next year, maybe Governor DeSantis will put a little bit more funding our way, and we'll have 200.
Mm-hmm.
So, myfwc.com, they have the application posted on there. Fill it out, get it in the queue, and, hey, maybe you can come be a python hunter too.
Cool. Python hunter, I like that term. So I think I'm going to refer to you as the python hunter from now on. My goodness.
And we talk about you, Toby, all the time. I mean, we always bring up stories about what you told. So I'm glad you were able to come.
Wow.
Come back on.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Toby.
That.
Well, we greatly appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for taking time to share with us this morning. I've got to move on to the next guest. Let me give Carolyn an opportunity to say goodbye to you. I appreciate it. Wish you an awesome day.
Thank you, Rick Scholar.
Have fun squirrel hunting, and we'll have you back on again soon, Toby.
Thank you, Carolyn. Bye-bye.
God bless you, my friend. Yeah, it takes a lot of guts to do what he does. It's amazing. 15-footers, and you're out there, and by hand? Come on. That's oh, my gosh. I don't know, Carolyn. You think you could? I can't do that with one of the snakes I find around the house. I wouldn't even dare touch it with my hand. No way. I'd have to find a trash can or something to stick it in. But not a 15-footer.
As a little girl, I was lucky enough to grow up in Connecticut in the woods, and I caught a snake once, and it bit me right in the meat of my hand, and it didn't feel good, and I didn't want to do it again. So I can't imagine a 15-footer.
Oh, well, let me bring on Pam Wirth. I think her kayak is about 15 feet. Good morning, Miss Pam. How are you, dear?
Good morning. I am so sorry I'm late. I've been trying to launch a boat, and the boat ramp's been fairly busy this morning.
No worries. No worries. Go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I was going to say, good morning, Pam. You got to be all bundled up if you're going fishing.
Yeah. Well, I kind of waited. It's a little chilly here. It's in the low 50s, so I figured there was no rush to get out first thing in the morning.
Unbelievable. This is
what
a person.
What you fishing for today?
I beg your pardon?
What you going to fish for today?
Oh, I'm just going to kind of, excuse the expression, fart around. I'm going to fish an area called Philippi Park. I haven't fished it in about 3 years. It's in Upper Tampa Bay. And I just figured I'd look for, redfish and trout and just relax. I've got my buddy Ruben, who's already launched already. He's out there somewhere. Over the weekend, on Thursday, I fished with Tom Lewis, the inventor and owner of First Light Jigs for snook. We had a great time. I was in Fort Pierce using his jigs till midnight under the bridges looking for snook. We had a great time.
Where is that, on the West Coast you're doing that?
No, over at Fort Pierce. That's a little
Fort
north
Pierce.
of you.
Yeah. Well, I know on the West Coast, one of my favorite places as a kid that my dad would take me was the Naples Pier. Do you know if that's still there?
I have no idea. I haven't. There's red tide down there right now,
Oh, my.
so I haven't fished that area in a while.
Yeah, that was one. And what they would do is to fish for the snook, they would wait for for it to get dark, and then they would have lights on the pier. And where the shadow from the pier was, the snook would sit right inside that shadow, just on the dark side, and waiting for something to show up in the light. And they would take a thing looked like a pipe, and a rod that looked like a giant bamboo pole, and just run it in a figure eight back and forth. And sometimes they'd be doing that for 15 or 20 minutes, and I guess the fish would just get ticked off after a while and bite it. And son of a gun if they wouldn't be catching him.
Wow. It's kind of like a walleye trick.
So you sound like you're paddling. Are you actually out on the water now?
No, I'm right at the boat launch. You hear the water lapping up along the launch.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, water, yeah.
So I'm just, like I said, getting ready to launch here. Sorry.
That's
I was
all right.
late. I apologize.
No, that's all right.
Did you tell Joe?
Go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I was going to say, I was going to ask if you fished Joe's tournament. He's going to be on, I think, later today, which is great.
Yep.
Yeah, I did. If you had to rank this year the top 3 tournaments, and I would rank them not on what you caught, but just the organization and the fun, which are, to be honest, those are my 2 things that I look at. I would put his up there as one of the top 3. That one, Derek Benton's goat tournament up in Navarra, Manny's tournament in Spinhatchee. Those are, I think, the top 3 tournaments. And I always have a blast at the IFA, but unfortunately there's no IFA in 2021.
Wow. So what's the next tournament you're looking for is when?
Oh, my goodness. I have, okay, I'm going to tell your listeners, I have 10 weekends open now because there's no IFA. So I'm really kind of looking for tournaments to fish. My fishing schedule was pretty much around the IFA, and now that it's not there, there's just not as many kayak tournaments as there are boat tournaments out there. It makes it a little more difficult.
Is that because of the COVID thing?
No, I don't have an exact reason, but I'm assuming I know who the biggest sponsors are, and they're a big box store, and then they strongly support freshwater. They even have that name in their name, and they were the biggest backers, and I'm assuming they just backed out.
Oh, wow, that's too bad.
And decided that, to just support freshwater and bail on saltwater.
Wow.
Now for the boat side, the boats have a number, like they have the Power Pole tournament this weekend up here in Tampa. In a couple weeks, I think it's in Spinhatchee, and then over in Jacksonville. And, I mean, there's a lot of redfish tournaments for boats, just not that many for kayaks.
Well,
I wonder why they can't do a combo. They should be able to do a combo because you guys on the kayaks are catching as big a stuff as these center consoles.
Yeah, and Power Pole did an awesome tournament. I need to congratulate them. They did what a lot of the kayak tournaments do is CPR, catch, photograph, and release. And they kind of did like a live Facebook post and weigh-ins live. And it was great. Everything was released, safely where it was caught. And I give them a lot of credit for that. I prefer a CPR tournament. Well, you have to in Tampa because you can't keep a redfish. Maybe in May we might be able to, but right now you can't. But yeah, the IFA did that. They had a boat tournament on Saturday, and then the kayak tournament was on Sunday.
So they mixed it up, but just different days. I think Carolyn was saying both of them at the same. I thought I saw something. Didn't we have something on this side of the state where they had kayaks and boats at the same time? Or am I wrong?
I don't know.
I don't remember hearing that because that would be a cool one to go to a weigh-in for. So that's definitely one that would be awesome to do. And the kayaks and the center consoles don't get in each other's way. What do the center consoles do? They run 30, 40 miles just to try and find that one fish. And you guys in the kayaks, Pam, could be right offshore and catch that winning fish. The first sailfish of the day, your lines are in faster, everything.
Yeah, well, the offshore, most of what I do is inshore. The only offshore tournaments I really fish are Joe's. Joe's and Derek Benton's. And Joe does an awesome job. I would say this was the best sailfish in tournament in reference to organization. I mean, it was last year they had a lot more fish caught. Unfortunately, all I caught were kingfish, which is the wrong tournament. His kingfish tournament is this summer, and you watch, I'll catch big sails. But I had fun. I did have a sailfish on. Three people saw it jump, so I definitely had a sailfish on, and a courtesy boater went right across my line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was so angry. That's what I hate about being a woman, is I was so angry. When I get that angry, it's like your eyes welled up, and it's not like I'm crying or anything. I'm just that angry. And after I got my line back in and untangled, I was going to go over and nicely tell him where he could put the rest of his rods and reels. And as I looked up, I saw that he had minors aboard. So I decided he noticed he got some of the line had caught up in his propeller. So he was dealing with trying to get that out. And probably took him about 15 minutes. So I figured, that's enough punishment. Maybe next time he'll learn his lesson. He doesn't need some old lady screaming at him in front of his kids.
Wow. God bless you for that. Yeah, I don't think that would have been a very, very good outcome for anybody. It is irritating. Yeah. It is irritating when you're not paying attention to what's going on. And they're
the only thing that would have made it better would be if he had to go in the water to get the line off.
Who knows? Who knows, what was left on his prop. I think he just got enough to get going again,
Wow.
But it is what it is.
Well, I wish you tight lines, my dear. We're off on to the next break here coming up.
Yeah, I don't have a cool, sexy report to give. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
But it's a beautiful day in Tampa, a little overcast. When I looked at the car, it was 53 degrees. I've got, maybe 5 to 6 knot wind here as I just got into the kayak. So you heard me breathe heavy. And I'm going to go out and see what I catch. I'll let you know.
I wish you well.
Yeah, And if you guys are fishing, if you hear of a tournament, let me know. Or if you just want to fish, I'm just trying to fill up 10 weekends. So Let me know.
All right.
Be happy to come over and fish with you.
I'd love to finally do that with you, Pam. And I'll tell you what, we didn't hear a splash after you said you got in the kayak, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it without falling in.
Oh, my
See,
goodness.
that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, my dear. I wish you an awesome day, and thank you again. I greatly appreciate you taking the time, and we're off to a break.
My pleasure. You have my phone number, hon. Give me a call, okay?
You got it. We'll do.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show. We'll be right back.
Full of special moments.
A girl?
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Club, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Club has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclub.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Club. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper, so I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning. We are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. Many different ways you can listen to us. The easiest of all of those ways is download our app. No spyware, no ads, no push notifications, just an easy way to listen to our show. You can find it at any of the major stores. The app, unfortunately, the app is only available for Android at this time. We're working on the iPhone, but it is available for the Android, and again, it's free. You can find it at the Apple Store, the Google Store, any of one of the major stores. Typically, you can find it there. If you look up WCET FM, that's the way to find the app. Let's see. Another way you can listen to us, if you're on Facebook, click on Contact Us, and you'll get onto the live server. If you have the TuneIn app, and you don't want to download any more apps, you can find us at Marina Rock Radio on the TuneIn app. A big thank you to Marina Rock. They are kind enough to allow us to utilize their services on Sunday morning. And let's see. Let me get back to my... I've got to... Bear with me a minute. Okay, I got a little bit of a feedback there. Let me get back to my co-host, and that is Carolyn. She's with Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Thank you for having me, Riscala. I love our Sundays together with our listeners.
I really have a good time. I'm still thinking about Toby and him being out there with a 15-foot snake. And I meant to ask Pam how big her kayak is. I think it's 15 or maybe even 13 feet. Imagine a snake.
I think they float around that 14-footer. But I tell you what, I'd love to get a picture of him. We got to look him up and see what he looks like, and see if that voice and that matches what he looks like.
My mind thinks of Grizzly Adams. Do you remember Grizzly Adams?
Of course, and that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Big scruffy guy. But you know what? During the show, I'm gonna see if I can find him.
You got me curious. I'm gonna have to go check it out and see if I can find a picture of him. I was expecting a call in from Joe. He may be running into a situation where he can't get to us, or he may be out of range right now. But we were looking for Joe Hector. He was the person who put on the Extreme Kayak Tournament who Pam was talking about, just our last guest. I don't know how many boats they had, but I think it was like 80 or 90.
Yeah, and you know what? I was actually watching that event unfold, and I think that the winner was the first time in a kayak tournament, the first time fishing a sailfish tournament, and I think it was from out of state.
Wow!
So a lot of good firsts for that young man.
And it's an all day thing, from what I understand. It's they fish I guess till 3:00 in the afternoon or something, but then there's all kinds of activities happening as well. It's kind of like a family affair. So I was hoping to have him on. He could tell us a little bit, give us some of the details. So hopefully he'll call in here before we run out of his slot. We'll take a minute and we'll talk about Atlas Trax. It's something that I enjoy very much because of the technology. Any latest and greatest new things coming out with Atlas Trax?
Well, here's what's really cool. Well, first of all, I had another customer with a big sport fish needed a tracker, same day. So I drove one over to their house as they were provisioning the boat, and they headed off to Bimini. They took the little hotspot with them, so they're going to try and make some phone calls using their existing cell phones. And the coolest thing is I'm now set up to sell all kinds of marine electronics, safety gear, life rafts, emergency beacons, personal beacons. So we really just went all out for safety and communications and theft recovery. So I'm pretty excited about being able to help someone with everything when they buy a new boat.
Congratulations. Excellent. Wow. So safety-minded people, it'll be almost like a one-stop shop, right?
Absolutely, and people are loving it because what happened was people were buying boats, calling me for trackers and asking me, hey, where can I get a life raft? Where can I get insurance? Where can I get, anybody that's got a trailer, anyone that does bottom painting? And, I decided why not be not only a tracking, but a concierge service to help people with everything they need, from canvas covers to anything they need.
Cool.
Because typically most of our customers are doing some of those things, whether they be canvas guys or seawall repairs or construction guys or bathroom remodelers. So I'm trying to develop a database. We're putting everybody together.
I think it's a great idea. Maybe we could, you could do an app for something like that, provide an app for something. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, right. We'll get you on board with your business. Throw some mermaid vodka on there, and that way everybody can still be in that fishing community and that family. But the trackers, the solar trackers, are awesome. And that sounds like, I don't know if we have Joe on.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of background. Let me welcome you on, Joe, with Joe Hector with the Supreme Kayak Tournament. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for taking time to share with us.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I got the baby today, and it's been a little crazy.
Good, Carolyn.
No worries. I was giving them kind of a little bit update about the tournament, and you can give us a better hands-on. Last we were speaking with you, I think you had a hang-up because you had a fish on somewhere with one of the contestants.
Yeah, actually, that guy. Don't touch that. That guy actually, he landed his fish. He was from Louisiana, and ended up getting second place in the tournament, which is pretty amazing.
Wow.
So.
How many boats did you end up with, Joe?
So we ended up with a little over 60, and we had a couple other groups, but unfortunately, because of everything going on, they weren't able to, make the trip. And so what we did was we just moved some of those guys to the summer tournaments, so that hopefully everything will be better off for them at that time. So, but yeah, we had a little over 60 boats, and it was great. We, let's see, we had all together, I think we had a lot of sailfish caught, and first place had 2. So he won the tournament with 2 sailfish, and his name was Greg Nolan, and he's from Delray Beach. And the guy from Louisiana was actually in first place for most of the tournament, and I'd say in the middle of the day, that's when Greg took over first with that second sailfish landed.
Wow.
And then all the rest of the guys had 1 sailfish. There were lots of opportunities for guys as well. There was multiple double headers throughout the day. And, the thing is with the double header, you're either going to get both or you're probably going to lose both. unless you cut the line. And a lot of these guys didn't want to cut the line because they had an opportunity to jump, you know what I'm saying, a lot of places to get to that first place. So, but yeah, it was a great tournament. We had big tuna actually caught as well.
Wow.
And we had a tuna division. Come on, meet me. And it was a lot of fun. Anglers from all over the country competed. We had anglers from California, Texas, pretty much all over the place.
Wow. And you caught a tuna. Hot dog. I like that. So the fishing goes on from like what, 7 o'clock in the morning till sometime in the afternoon?
Yeah. So how it worked was we had our shoot off, and they shot off at 7:30, and then they had to be back on the beach by 4, and then we sorry guys.
No worries. It's family day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Because of the city and everything that we had to deal with, once again, we couldn't have an award ceremony at like a restaurant like we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we did was there was a pavilion right where we launched on the beach. So we used that pavilion for the award ceremony right after everyone came in and were accounted for.
Usually it's an all-day thing. With this COVID thing put aside, in the past it's been like an all-day thing, right? It's been like activities during the day for those who may have come and they're not fishing, they're waiting for their better half to come or their dad or whatever.
Yes. So the sailfish tournament is actually a lot different than our summer tournaments. The sailfish tournament, pretty much everything takes place on the water. And that's kind of where the show is. We even throw out burritos from Zona Fresca and subs from Jersey Mike to every angler, and we make a game out of it. You know how many catch it and how many don't. And but everything takes place on the water in the sailfish tournament because it's a catch and release event, and there's not really a show, you know, with the weigh-in with fish and stuff like that. So. The summertime tournaments, that's the big party on the beach. Those are our really big tournaments with, you know, over 100 guys. And we're looking forward to this summer, that's for sure.
Now, is that the one that you have as an all-day thing? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
I remembered you telling me one of them was an all-day thing. They had games. They had all kinds of stuff for the kids to do. So it was a family thing.
Yeah, and anglers can get even a massage when they come in. We have a massage company that comes. It's for a whole bunch of local businesses, and you know, obviously last year was rough. We could only have one of the 2 summer slams, and the one we could have, you know, we had to move our location. We couldn't get a permit from the city. We couldn't get the stage, so we made do with what we had, and we pulled it off. So it was good.
Yeah, and we had Pam Wirth on earlier today, and she said she had a great time. And Rascala, I've gone to Joe's events. They've got the tents out. They've got, you know, games, all kinds of beanbag games, and food and cranking music. So it's a real good time on the beach.
We'll make plans for that this coming summer, right? Because we
also have real quick. We have the Exotic Bass Roundup. That's our first freshwater tournament coming up April 10th.
Oh.
And that's going to be at Lake Ida, and that's going to be a big party just like the summer tournament. And that one is going to be for exotics only. So it'll be kind of the first of its kind, and it'll still draw anglers from around the country, given that it's peacock bass, clown knifefish, even red-tailed catfish. It'll be great.
Wow. And now that's kayak too, right? This is going to be a kayak tournament.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. April 20th, did you say?
10th.
April 10th. I'm going to write that down. So we'll have you on before then to kind of remind people and see if we can get some more people joining you.
Great.
All right, Carolyn.
Great.
No, I see Joe's truck around town, and I know he's out there always working, getting people promoting these tournaments, getting more people and families involved. And I'm glad you have a family day with your baby today.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, it's today's kind of the first day I finally have off for the whole day. So today I'm going to do absolutely nothing but hang out with my girls. So
There you go. Oh, my goodness. All right, my friend. Well, thank you. Greatly appreciate you taking time to share with us today. And looking forward to having you back on with an update about the next one coming up April 10th. And that's going to be in Lake Ida. And Lake Ida is in where, Boynton? Is that where that's at?
Yeah, correct.
So that'll be in Boynton Beach, Florida. Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, Joe, so tell our listeners that might not be familiar with you where we can find you on your social media and phone numbers if you want to give them out on how to, get involved in the next tournament.
Definitely. So you can go to extremekayakfishing.com, and that'll give you pretty much all of our tournament information, schedule, and all of that. The Summer Slam dates will be out next week. So I know a lot of people are anxious for that. And a lot goes into dates than people realize because of, so much other things going on. So, or you could find us on Instagram, and it's at Extreme Kayak Fishing, one word, or you could find us on Facebook, Extreme Kayak Fishing Inc. And you can also get my personal for questions if you want them answered directly from me. You can go to joe.hector.kayak on Instagram or just Joe Hector on Facebook.
All right, my friend.
Plenty of places to go. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, guys. Sorry about the chaos.
No worries. It's good to hear the kid in the background. You're enjoying yourself, it sounds like. So good deal.
No worries. We had Pam drop a kayak in when she was on the phone with us. So.
That's true.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you again.
Hey, I appreciate it.
God bless.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped. Even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Club, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Club has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclub.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Club. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up. The easiest way to find them, get on Facebook, go over to Fishing in Florida, and you'll find a link there to the archives. They're actually on YouTube. I haven't figured out how. If you put Fishing in Florida on YouTube as a search, you'll get a bazillion results, and we're not any of them. So the easiest way to find us right now is if you go to Facebook, and there'll be a link there for all the archives. So any of the shows that you've missed, you can easily find. My co-host this morning is Carolyn with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Well, thank you, Riscala.
And I think we have Captain Deb Deyo on. Captain Deb is going to give us a report, I think, from the West Coast. Good morning, Captain Deb.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Hey, Deborah.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm actually sitting in Chiefland, Florida, beside a fire because it's like 40 degrees. I'm freezing my butt off. I went crappie fishing yesterday. It was so cold. It's just not the Keys weather, you know. So, but I'm meeting one of my sisters soon, Terry Huffmaster, and we're going trout fishing tomorrow and Tuesday.
My goodness. And so where are you right now?
I'm in Chiefland, Florida.
Where's that at?
Near the Big Bend, I think.
Oh, okay.
So you're up by Steenhatchee. You're like northwest.
Yeah, 30 miles west of Gainesville.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's chilly up there.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's very cold. It's 41. But you know what? We had Florida spiny lobster last night for dinner and some steaks and a glass of red wine. Unbelievable dinner last night. And I was so happy to bring up lobster and be able to enjoy it in 40-degree weather.
So Captain Deb, are you with Angelia and Wanda and all the other ladies, or you and Terry just palling around and doing a little wade fishing?
Yeah, we had a big schedule. We had a bunch of things going, and some things happened, and Wanda couldn't make it, unfortunately. Angelia's doing some stuff down in the Keys. So we're just going to take a couple days. I actually have to move the Gypsy Girl back from Key West to Key Largo on Saturday. So I have to get back to the Keys and get that done.
Yeah, so Riscala, the girls asked me to go wade fishing, right? Which I was trying to do, but it was a little bit too far to drive. And all I could think about was that weather coming through and standing in that cold water.
Now we're actually have a boat, so I'm not. No, I don't have waders, and I'm not buying them. I mean, I really want to do that, but my feet are a little cold right now. 40 degrees. I can imagine when it's going to be 2.5 hours north.
Yeah. No,
you know what, Deborah? What we'll do is we'll get down to the Keys and we'll wade out and do a little bone fishing off of one of the flats in the Keys.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Definitely. Then the water's a little warmer and a little clearer too.
No doubt. Yeah, the water up where you are is pretty brown. Needless to say more. I spent a little time in Cedar Key, and it's a different kind of water than we're used to here on the East Coast.
It's gorgeous water.
I need to bring my boat up here, my new Simrad system, my Evo 3 system that I just put on my skiff, and I'm excited about that because it has the side scan and everything, and can find those fish in dirty waters, unlike the Keys where most of the water's clear.
So how long do you plan on staying up there?
I'll be home probably Thursday. So I'm just here a couple days. I came in yesterday, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to meet Terry and go fishing with her and get on some of those major gator trout. I don't know if you guys have been following her on Facebook. Holy crap at the trout though.
She just made it on the cover of Coastal Angler magazine, which is kind of funny because I helped a friend deliver some of the magazines, and then when I finally looked at it, I'm like, wait, that's Terry. So I sent her a picture and put it in one of the boxes.
God bless her.
Yeah, I grabbed like 15 copies because there's different editions in different places. In the Florida Keys edition, she's on it and she's in all the tackle shops. I'm like, I always take a picture. I'm like, there you are. And she's like, oh my God. So I grabbed her like 15 copies, and I'm like, will you sign one of these? Please autograph this for me.
She's a star. How cool.
So tell us, you were down, what kind of fish did you catch last week in the Keys? I saw a lot of social media. You were out fishing. You did the tournament, the Holly tournament last time we talked to you. What else have you been catching down in the Keys?
Yeah, actually, I took a couple friends out on their little bay boat, and we hooked into a double sailfish hookup. I threw one off on through the hook, and the other one popped the leader at the boat. But to be able to sit out there and sit beside, the guys from Bud Mary's and actually hook up on 2 sailfish in a bay boat was quite humbling.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. But, the yellowtail bite's been really good. Kingfisher now really heavy on the wrecks. Not a whole lot of wahoo action we've seen, but the sailfish are just phenomenal down there. I've got a ladies Islamorada fish tournament coming up in February, and Carolyn, I hope you're aboard for that. And we're going to fish that together. So, and we also have 4 girls coming up.
You only got to ask me half that question, and that is a yes. Count me in. Tell me what I owe. Tell me what to bring. I am in that tournament.
Yes. So I'm filling out the paperwork today and sending that in, and we'll see what happens. And we'll take an all ladies crew out and see what we can do in a ladies sailfish tournament.
So did you say you're going for trout later today?
Tomorrow. I'm driving up 2.5 hours, to meet Terry at Keaton Beach is where she's at. And we'll get up there, and she's rented the house for the month. And they were sending me pictures yesterday of these huge trout and redfish they've been catching. And, my love's in the backcountry as well as offshore, but I really like catching reds and I like catching trout. So, just come up here and see one of my sisters and know what it's like to, it's an amazing experience, and I can't wait for it.
It's a different way of life as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's the slow, I don't know. It's just the Keys life is totally different from anywhere in the country.
I
think everybody knows that.
That's true. Yeah. But if you're leaving...
I can't go in the corner and buy a margarita right now, unfortunately, but I could in the Keys.
That would warm you up, right? Get you warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Keys are definitely a genuine, unique way of living. I had a cousin, not really a cousin. My ex-wife's cousin lived down there, and we spent quite a bit of time during the summer down there. And it is, but when you're going from a big city to a place like where you are, there's a big change. When you're going from somewhere like Miami to where I went to when I was in the Air Force, they sent me from one big city to another big city to another big city. I ended up in Panama City, and thinking that, oh my gosh, it's going to be party time, because the last time that I was in Panama City, I was 15 years old with my mom and dad, and it was just a huge party, only to find out that Panama City closed down at 9 o'clock at night, and there was nothing to do. That once the Miracle Strip closed down, the whole city shut down at 9 o'clock. I don't know how it is now, but back then. And this young man just went nuts. I didn't know what to do with myself. It wasn't like being in Miami where you could, anytime, the day, you could go wherever you wanted. and find something going on. We're here at 9 o'clock at night, everything's shut off. But the beautiful thing that I enjoyed about Panama City was the fishing. I had never really experienced fishing like that before. We did wade fishing. We did freshwater fishing. I love saltwater fishing. We did a lot of saltwater fishing. We would go crabbing. Just so many things to do while we were there. Oystering. We would go oystering. Just seafood was plentiful when I was there. It was amazing, really. And the sand. Oh my gosh, the sand. If you take a picture of you on the sand and you don't show the water in the background, you could tell somebody you're standing in snow. That's how white the sand used to be. I haven't been there in years, but I think that it's still probably the same.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Mexico Beach. Have you been to Mexico Beach?
I haven't been to Mexico Beach yet. Actually, this is the first time I've ever been on the west coast of Florida. So I don't know anything about it. I came from a little town in North Carolina, Catfish, North Carolina, to, the Outer Banks, to the Keys. So, I'm kind of making my way around now and doing some adventures and excited about it. But this is the first experience I've had with the West Coast.
Did you go out to the beach?
But I was going to say, for our listeners that might not know Captain Deb, she runs a charter business, a woman-owned business down out of the Key Largo with 3 different kinds of boats for 3 styles of fishing. And today she's out doing fun fishing for herself.
Yes, I am. I had to take a vacation from a vacation, it feels like. But no, I got on some nice live crappie yesterday, and we'll go catch gator trout, and you kind of learn, because now I get to meet Terry, and then she can come down and adventure with me, and it's all about us supporting women and empowering women and having friendships.
I like that. That's one of the things that's one of my heartstrings. Get the women involved, so you get the women involved, and it's not so difficult for the whole family to go. Then a lot of women feel intimidated because it has, up until recently, been a predominantly male-oriented sport, if you want to call it that. However you want to term it. Because for me, it's not so much a sport as it is just something to go out and relax and de-stress. Every time I go fishing, it's just, whether I catch fish or not, it's nice to be out on the ocean. It's not nice to be on the ocean when it's 4 to 6, so I don't go then. But it's nice to be out on the ocean like days like today. I just wish it was a little warmer. But days like today, my gosh. Carolyn says it looks like a giant lake out there. I can imagine. I've been out there when it's like that. It's awesome. I wanted to ask you, Captain Deb, have you been to the beach yet? You been out to see the sand on the beach?
I haven't yet. I'm working there. I'm headed to Keaton Beach. I'm about 15 miles from Cedar Key right now.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. So I came up the turnpike and then headed over and met a friend, and now went crappie fishing, and now I'm kind of going over to meet Terry. So excited about that. Very excited.
I think the first thing you'll notice is the sand is like white, really white.
I can't wait to put my feet in it. Am I going to freeze though?
You might, but I'll tell you that when you step on the sand, it squishes between your feet. It's really weird. It's a weird feeling. The whole consistency of the sand on the west coast of Florida versus the east coast is totally different. When you go step in it, you'll see what I mean. You get this like squishy feeling between your toes. I remember the first time that we went out and I said, "Oh my gosh, look at the sand. It's so white. It looked like somebody took bleach and put bleach on the sand." And then when we stepped in it, it was kind of weird, It was unusual. I think you'll like it. I think you'll be very impressed with how. I hope it's still the same, somewhat the same. How clean the beaches are, and how white the sand is. Just amazing.
Yeah, and Deborah, just to get you on standby, the average water temperature in January in Cedar Key is 58 degrees.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't waiting in that. No, thank you. I'm getting in a boat,
You can do like our friend Toby and get in aluminum John boat. He was in an aluminum John boat. Was that? No, that wasn't Toby that said that, was it? Was it Toby?
Yeah, Toby uses a boat like that whenever he's catching the alligators and snakes.
He
does, and I forget who else.
No, it was Robert.
Guys that use a John boat.
It was Robert who was telling us he was in an aluminum John boat down in the Glades fishing, and he'd never been. He lived in Colorado, and he was colder in the Glades than he was in Colorado because of sitting on the cold water, sitting on a john boat, an aluminum john boat, and fishing. It's like being in a refrigerator. So make sure you don't get on an aluminum boat. Then you'll be fine.
No, I'm not getting on an aluminum boat. I'm good.
Oh my gosh! Got to do something when
So
it's
Deborah,
cold.
have you told people if they want to pick a charter with you, if they call you and say I want to fish for this particular kind of fish, you just tell them you put them in the boat they need for what they want to do, right?
Yeah, I do custom fishing charters. Try to figure out what they want to catch and target that. I have an offshore boat. I have a 32-foot game fisherman called the Gypsy Girl out of Key Largo Fisheries, slip number 28. You can get online bluewatergirlcharters.com or mybluewateradventures.com and book that boat. Also have a 16-foot Chaos Bonefish Edition little skinny water boat that I target bonefish and snook, reds in the backwaters of Key Largo, and I can hold 1 to 2 people comfortably on that boat. I also have a 28-foot Glacier Bay, kind of a power cruiser boat. Do snorkeling trips and sandbar trips, fun trips, maybe even over to the Bahamas trips. So just a lot going on. You just call me and say, hey, this is what I want to do, and then I figure out how we're going to do it. So it's custom fishing. You tell me what you want your adventure to be, and I try to fulfill that.
And that is so awesome, being a woman-owned business and a licensed U.S. Coast Guard captain. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you want to talk to me on the phone, you can also call me 305-896-3768, and we'll book your adventure today.
Cool. How often? Not how often. How long is the wait time? If they call you today, they can get, provided you're down there, they can get in tomorrow, the day after?
Usually, just depends. I'm pretty well booked for the month of February right now. I've got a few dates open in March. My May is booked. I've got some things on the schedule and got some tournaments and some adventures. So, it's if you call me, I try to get you in that. I mean, just depends on what you want to do, but absolutely. And if I can't do it, I will definitely hook you up with the charter captain that I recommend.
Excellent. Well, I wish you an awesome day. I want to thank you for sharing with us. Anything else you want to share with us before we say hasta la pasta?
No, it's when you're out and you're fishing, it's all about live bait. So, make sure that you get live bait when you're out fishing. That's all I'm going to say.
I think Angelia is one of those live baiters as well. She likes to use live bait.
Definitely a live baiter. Yeah. Hey, do you know she caught a sailfish on the party boat on last Monday? I was so surprised. She called me up. She was like, "Can you believe this?" I was like, "Are you?" They're sitting there and they're yellowtailing on the reef,
and she
catches a sailfish on a yellowtail jig on a shrimp.
on a drift boat, I believe.
On a drift boat.
Off a drift boat.
On a party. It's a party fishing boat. They put 35 people on it and $70, and you're out there fishing for 6 hours. It's quite an experience for the people that want to go fishing that can't afford charters or whatever. But catching a sailfish on a drift boat is like on a shrimp is unheard of. But I guess I'd rather be lucky than good.
Oh, geez. She's still in search of the mahis. The mahis have been avoiding her. She hasn't been able to catch one yet. So if she's able to catch a sailfish on a yellowtail rig, maybe she'll get lucky.
We're going mahi fishing.
Are you?
Oh yeah, we're going mahi fishing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're gonna. You never know. I mean, there was a few caught 2 or 3 days ago. There was. They're there. They just got to find them. Maybe we'll do that.
Robert was reporting that they are unusual. There's an unusual amount of them showing up here where we're at in the Palm Beach County area. So it's happening. It's still happening. I told him I don't remember him being around. I think it's very unusual for them to still be around. But their reports, then they're catching lots of them. I don't mean just a couple here and there. Robert said right, Carolyn? He says they're catching quite a few of them.
Yeah, and they're anywhere between 25 and 35 pounds, some of them.
Ooh.
Wow, gaffer size. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Hey, I'm down for a mahi sandwich any time of year.
Well, make sure that you share that now. And all right, my dear. Thank you. Greatly appreciate you taking time.
You've got a little bit of a drive left, and then you're going to get out on the water today or tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. About 2.5 hours up to Keaton Beach, see Terry, and then we're going to go from there. And I don't know, I may be here 2 days, maybe 3, here 3 days. I'm just kind of on a whim. I just know that I have to move my boat from Key West to Key Largo on Saturday.
Well, that's nice to be able to do that. Well, we have Angelia.
Yeah, I'm going to fish all the way home, too. I'm going to fish all the way from Key West all the way up. So high-speed troll on the Gypsy Girl. So we'll see what happens.
We have Angelia on with us, so if you want to say a quick hi to her, you can do that.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. I just blew your whole secret about the sailfish. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I miss you. I'll be home soon. Let's get together and go chase some fish.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'm getting my skip out of the water. Let's go in the back.
Absolutely, ladies. And Angelia, it's nice talking and nice seeing you. And if you ladies don't mind, I'm going to jump off a little early today and got a project to do, but tight lines and Riscala, is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
You got some good firepower on here right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bye, Carolyn.
I wish you well.
So good to talk to you.
Thank you, Carolyn.
All right, ladies. Well, have fun chit-chatting.
See you later. Yeah, she had the flu. She had the wonderful COVID flu, and so there's times she's not feeling too well. I think she's run down. So anyway, I want to say hello there, Miss Angelia, the Florida Salty Cowgirl. How are you today, other than freezing?
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's been a week of overcast, cold, wet kind of weather down here, but been out on the water nonetheless,
Yeah, and what you catching?
Well, I spent the week on the head boat out of Bed and Mary's, which was quite fun for a change because everyone knows how much I love the head boats. And I don't know if Deb told you, but the sailfish are so crazy right now down here that dang if a lady didn't catch a sailfish on a yellowtail rod and rig on Monday off the darn head boat. I mean, it's like fishing in a barrel for sailfish right now. It's crazy. And as you're out there, you can just watch people hooking up to them all over the place. It's just a beautiful sight. I mean, you can't beat it. And then, of course, I always make jokes about the grouper. I think the grouper are smarter than we are. And when grouper season starts, they will stop biting. I swear they send out a grouper memo and they all get it and they stop biting. But of course, grouper's out of season right now. So, oh my God, we are catching more keeper black grouper than I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, the reds are very, very prominent down here. The blacks are a little less common down here. I'm used to fishing in the Gulf Coast. And the black grouper is very, very prevalent up there. But down here, they seem like they're a little bit harder to catch until the last week. And I'm just watching keeper-sized black grouper coming over the side like crazy. So it's been a really exciting week. So some really nice mutton snapper. The yellowtail just were not biting this week. Couldn't get them to bite for anything. Tried every trick in the book, and it just wasn't happening. But the snapper's insane. The mangrove snapper bite is crazy, and they're big. Wow. The water conditions, like I said, it's been a little wet and a little overcast and a little cold for me anyway. But the fishing's been really, really good. The bottom fishing's been fantastic. So no complaints. And like I said, the sailfish bite this year is just off the chain. I mean, it's crazy. Where the numbers came from, I'm not really sure, but they are absolutely here. Just insane. When you catch one off a head boat, then you know they're just hanging on the reef.
Well, when you were talking about the grouper, you have to remember that we tell people that they are schools of fish, so they're going to school. They're learning. They're telling each other.
I make jokes about the grouper in particular because keep in mind, I started my career on grouper and grunt trips, and I know my grouper, but they are so darn smart. And I'm telling you, the bite will turn off like crazy as soon as season opens. And right now, it's just like they know it's fair game. They know they're not going to, they're going to get thrown back. I don't know. It's just the craziest thing. But I bet you I saw more black keeper grouper come over the side of the rail this week than I've caught down here in my entire time. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Now, Captain Deb says she's going to take you on the hunt for the one that you have been missing the whole time, and that is the mahi. And she says they're going on a hunt, and she's taking you with her, and she's going to come back with mahi. Are you ready for that?
Oh, absolutely. Every year I've had a fantastic year. 2020 was just not my year for mahi. I was catching them all the way into November of 2019, and then, woof, my mahi mojo just went away. So I'll be pleased. I'll do anything to have it come back. Of course, it's going to be mahi season in a couple months, and heck yeah, I'd love to have my mahi mojo go back.
Well, she said she's going to do it, Captain Deb. We still have Captain Deb on the line. She said she's going to do it, Captain Deb.
Bring it, girlfriend.
She may be on she may be muted, but I see her. Anyway, she looks like she's still on the line.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. Yeah. I really am. I'm here.
So did you hear her? She said she's going to do it.
Oh,
awesome.
hell yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll do anything to get my mahi mojo back this year. So, like you said, just wasn't my year. Everything else was on like crazy, but the mahi just was not in the cards for me this last year.
Well, listen, I'm moving the boat from Key West to Key Largo on Saturday, and I'm going to troll the high-speed troll all the way up the reef.
There you go.
If you'd like to join with me.
That sounds amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, let's call me. Let's go.
Let's do it, man.
So the challenge is on. I'm
always up for a challenge for Stella. Come on.
It's going to be the Florida Salty Cowgirl in the proverbial effort of trying to catch the elusive mahi-mahi.
Oh, boy. We're going to go catch the mahi-mahi.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I
know. I'm almost glad that all of my favorite tournaments down here in the spring are all the mahi tournaments. And I have my little circuit that I run in the spring, and I've done really well in the past. And it was kind of luck was on my side that most of the tournaments were canceled due to the COVID closure, because I would have wasted a lot of money this year.
Wow.
So I'm really ready for all of our mahi tournaments to come back this year. I'm ready for all of our tournaments to be back this year.
Oh, I know.
And the mahi especially, because the ladies tournament, I usually do really well in the Elks Lady tournament down here. And like I said, last year I was almost glad it was canceled because I would have lost money. I went out and kind of mock fished it just as if it were going on. And I got skunked on the mahi. What can I say? Everybody's got their year. It was not my year for mahi. So I'm ready.
Well, that year's gone, and now we're in 21. And
thank goodness.
and you'll have the help of Captain Deb. So, and maybe you can talk Carolyn into coming down, and there'll be the three of you. The fish won't have a chance.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun having a mahi tournament with the three of us.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So it looks like Saturday, right? Saturday's when you got to do that, Deb?
Yeah, Saturday. If the boat is she's getting some new paint on her deck and some bow paint while I am up here. So she needed some work done. So I'm having some upgrades done to her, and a new Simrad EVO 3 12-inch is going on the tower. So I'll have navigation up there, and I'm very excited about the upgrades that are coming, and I think Angela's really going to like them too.
Ooh, congrats. So now you have me curious. You can take the boat down here. How are you going to get back?
No, I'm having the boat. I'm having the boat sent down there right now. It's on its way to Key West today.
Oh, you're taking it. You're taking it
yep.
back.
And then I'm going to Key West from Keaton Beach to pick up the boat and take her to her slip in Key Largo. But I'm going to fish the whole way back.
Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. All right, hot dog. Well, we're rapidly running out of time. Anything you guys want to share before we still got about 3 or 4 minutes. Anything you want to share?
As we're both silent. No,
hey, that never happened.
amazing. Yeah, that's the only way to come back to Stella. If you got to bring a boat all the way back from Key West, you might as well fish the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to drive.
Run line and not troll line.
I used to drive mine down to Bud Mary's, right across the street from Bud Mary's. There was a place I'd put my boat in, and we'd take out of there. But I couldn't say that I would fish the whole way down. I wouldn't be able to do that. We were one of those things. We'd leave like 4 o'clock in the morning to get down there, so we'd avoid the traffic, because anybody who's ever driven down to the Keys knows all it takes is a fender bender. Even a ticket will cause the traffic to back up. And we wanted to be on the water by the time the sun came up. So we would leave. I lived in Cutler Ridge at the time. We'd leave Cutler Ridge at about 4:30 in the morning. By the time we got down to Papa Joe's, right across the street from Bud and Mary's, they had a ramp there, and that's where we would put in. And always had a good time, regardless of whether we caught fish or not. And most of the time we did catch fish, but the water was the thing that really caught me was the water. The water's just gorgeous. If you guys haven't seen the water, it's just you can't. I mean, you can see it on videos and stuff, but it's not the same as seeing it in real life. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous.
And what, Riscala, even this week with the overcast skies and a little bit cold and a little bit wet, the water was still absolutely magnificent on the reef. I mean, just magnificent.
Wow. You can see
the fish at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can see the fish down at the bottom. That's so cool. Yeah, it's like being in a giant aquarium.
Visibly see the fish at the bottom. It's just amazing, crystal clear.
It's like being in a giant aquarium. It's just it's cool. It's really neat. And then when you're fishing, you can watch your bait drop down there, and you can see. Again, it's something you have to experience if you've never seen anything like that. The water is just amazingly. All around that area, all around especially I remember, especially around the lighthouse, the whole reef area, all around in that area. Some of it is sand, and so it makes it really clear because it's not a dark bottom. You can really see with the white sand down there, just how clear the water is. It's just amazing. All right, we're quickly running out of time, so let me give you each an opportunity to share anything else that before we go. Got a couple of minutes. Let me go to Miss Deb. Anything else you want to share there, Miss Deb?
Not really, other than if you guys want to book a charter, you can give me a call at 305-896-3768 or look me up online. I'm at Instagram and social media, Blue Water Girl Charters. Or you can find me at Captain Deb Deyo on Facebook and follow my adventures. And if you want to adventure along with me, give me a call.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Let me give Angelia an opportunity to say goodbye to you first.
Same thing. Anybody who wants to reach me and charter, it's Florida Salty Cowgirl on Facebook and Instagram. And you can always text me on my personal phone at 813-610-0078.
Ladies, thank you. I greatly appreciate you taking time to share with me today. I wish you an awesome day, regardless of the temperature of the weather. The weather is actually kind of gorgeous where I'm at. It's just a little too cool, but going to warm up to about 70 today, so won't be too bad. Wish you an awesome day, what's left of it, and once again, my appreciation to each of you for calling in. My listeners, thank you. Greatly appreciate every one of you for taking the time to share with us and letting us take what we have and share with you. And we'll be back in a week every Sunday, 8 to 10 a.m., and we'll look for you then.